After completing his studies, Lynden returned home to the Bahamas in 1953.
After leaving the post office, they both went away to study law. And during their time in England, they gained a lot of experience about politics, the British system of politics. And when they returned to the Bahamas, so Lynden met the PLP, well organized, by Sir Henry Taylor, H.M. Taylor, and others. And he joined in and he started fighting in the struggle.
He went off to school, came back to the Bahamas, and instead of going that route about money, he decided to go the route of politics. And really, the essence of Sir Lynden's message at that point was, let my people go. Sir Lynden provides a theme where he has demonstrated the fundamental principles of effective leadership. I don't care what country you're in, I don't care the size of the country, I don't care the circumstances. The fact of the matter is, leaders have to make choices. And an important element of that choice for real acceptance of leader is sacrifice. I am choosing to do something where I'm putting service above self.
I met Mr. Pindling, as he was then, in 1953 or 54. He'd come home from England as a young lawyer. I was upstairs in a building which was called the Malcolm Building, not far away from here, where H.M. Taylor, the first chairman of the PLP, was living. And while I was there, Mr. Pindling came in. Young lawyer, first time I'm going to meet him. And he had joined the PLP.
What is the policy of your party?
Politically, we should like universal suffrage and a ministerial system of government, based on, the whole thing based on universal adult suffrage. Economically, we should like to use our tax-free area so that we can attract more foreign capital to set up light industries here for their export to the Central, South American and Caribbean areas so that we can create more employment. We do not feel that tourism is too healthy a project to have it just alone. Tourism along with something else, yes. Tourism alone, no.
They formed this organization. H.M. Taylor established a party in the Family Islands and made the PLP really the first national political party in the history of the Bahamas. There were political parties before that. Small parties came and went. But H.M. Taylor went throughout the Bahamas, established branches on all the islands, and really established a national party.
That's important because young people today don't understand. When the PLP was formed, nobody of any education or substance wanted anything to do with the PLP. They avoided the PLP. I'm talking about black professionals. Didn't want a thing to do with the PLP.
When Sir Lynden came back, there were a lot of young blacks who had an education who didn't see fit to join the movement. When Sir Lynden came back in 1953, he immediately became a part of the movement. He joined the movement right away. But then there was an internal struggle for the direction of the movement.
And that is why, even today, when I discuss Sir Lynden, although we had a lot of arguments about a lot of things, I give him credit for coming home, a London-trained lawyer, and joining this rebel group of people who nobody wanted no respecting black fella. And he didn't have to, it wasn't for any economic gain, because he had nothing to gain. In fact, he had a lot to lose by joining with them, because most of the businesses were owned by white Bahamians. And so he certainly couldn't look to them for any job or anything like that. Arthur Hanna returned home. He became the second professional fellow to join the PLP. it is my view that that is what changed the outlook for the PLP. Because people then start thinking, well, if these university-trained people could join this thing, this must not be so bad.
And what ensued was an intense political struggle inside the organization. And for that purpose, we selected Sir Lynden Pindling to be our leader, because he was a remarkable man, as you know, in many respects. One good thing about him that some of us didn't have at the time, he'd been to Britain. We used to have this thing about he had his BTE, he'd been to England. He was educated. He went to some of the finest schools in Britain. He was articulate, eloquent even, and he was committed. And we came to the conclusion of all those in the movement at the time, Sir Lynden was the best one to personify what we were all about. And that was to make a radical change in the politics and the social condition in the Bahamas.